This is not just a story. This is revenge.
For 11 years, my ex-wife sent me $1 every month, exactly $1. No message, no explanation, just a tiny notification that showed up like a heartbeat I didn't ask for. At first, I thought it was cruel. Then I thought it was random. Then I stopped thinking about it completely, until it stopped. And that's when I realized something I don't say out loud very often. That dollar wasn't money, it was rhythm. And when rhythm breaks after 11 years, something else is already moving underneath it, something you were never meant to notice. The divorce didn't just end my marriage, it rewired how I trust my own memory. People think betrayal is loud. It's not. It's quiet. It's your brain replaying old moments differently every time. A smile that now feels fake. A silence that now feels planned. A conversation you suddenly question for no reason at 2 a.m. My ex-wife Emily didn't just leave. She became a question I couldn't answer cleanly. Cheating was what I was told. I believed it. Everyone did. But belief isn't truth. It's just the easiest version of it. And I built my entire understanding of her on that easy version. Until the dollar stopped, and the silence started feeling heavier than the divorce ever did. If Emily was the villain I thought she was, why the consistency? Why $1? Not 5, not random amounts, exactly 1, every month. For 11 years. That's not emotional behavior. That's structured. Intentional, almost like a system. And systems don't come from chaos. They come from someone who is tracking something, waiting, measuring, and I didn't see it back then. Because I was too busy believing the story I was handed. I started digging only after the payment stopped. Bank records first, then old emails, then anything with her name on it. Most of it was dead ends. Until I found something odd. Every dollar came from a different routing layer. Different intermediaries. Different paths. It wasn't a simple transfer. It was masked, like someone didn't want the origin traced easily. That's when I first felt it. That uncomfortable thought, what if the money wasn't the message? What if it was just camouflage, and the real message was hidden inside the pattern? But I didn't have enough pieces yet. Not even close. I finally found her lawyer's old office. Closed, new tenants, but the receptionist gave me one sentence I still remember. She didn't send money for no reason. She was obsessed with dates. Dates, not emotions, not revenge. Dates, that didn't make sense until I asked for one last thing. A forwarding contact, and I got a folder. Old, archived, almost forgotten, with my name on it. And inside that folder was something I didn't expect. Emily had been documenting something. Not me, not herself, something around us, something I had never paid attention to. The first domino wasn't dramatic. It was boring. A timestamp mismatch. A financial entry that didn't align with what I remembered from the divorce timeline. One small inconsistency. Then another. Then another. And suddenly, I wasn't reading a file anymore. I was reading a correction of my own memory. That's the moment I felt it shift, because either I had lived through a lie or someone had rewritten the record after the fact. And both options were dangerous, just in different ways. Here's the part that made my stomach drop. The affair evidence I had seen years ago, it wasn't clean. It was assembled. Not fabricated from nothing, but selected. Edited, framed, enough truth to feel real. Not enough context to be complete, and the deeper I went, the worse it got. Because every piece of proof I had accepted back then looked like it had been curated, not discovered. That's when I realized something uncomfortable. Someone didn't just destroy my marriage, they guided how I understood its destruction, and I still didn't know who. The real collapse didn't happen in a courtroom. It happened slowly, in reports, audits, background checks, internal reviews, small things stacking into something unavoidable. Names started disappearing from partnerships. Deals got paused, then revoked, and then I heard it. Daniel Mercer, my business partner back then, the man I trusted, the man who helped me through the divorce. Turns out he wasn't helping, he was present, at every stage, like a shadow that only exists when light hits it correctly. By the time investigators connected the structure, it wasn't a case anymore. It was a pattern, and patterns don't argue, they just prove themselves. I never got a dramatic explanation from Emily. No final speech, no emotional closure, just absence, and the realization that I had been standing inside a story where I only knew half the author. The dollar made sense now, not as money, not as guilt, but as continuity. A signal that something was still in motion, still being tracked, still being finished, and when it stopped, it didn't feel like loss, it felt like completion. People like to believe betrayal is simple. Someone hurts you, you move on, you heal. That's not how it works. Sometimes betrayal is just the first layer of something deeper, something structured, something patient, something that doesn't explode in your life, it reorganizes it quietly. And you only realize it years later, when the small signals stop. There is a specific kind of silence that only happens when a long game ends. And if you ever hear it, don't assume you're safe. Assume the story just finished revealing itself. Because the most dangerous truth is never the one that hurts you immediately. It's the one that makes you question who was actually holding the pen the entire time. And here's the question I can't stop asking myself. Was I ever really the victim of betrayal, or just the last person to understand the plan? Tell me in the comments. At what exact moment do you think the truth stopped being hidden and started being inevitable? See you in the next breakdown.